So home buying has gone virtual. That is the big thing these days. In fact, there's a term that I actually just saw as I was doing a little bit of research about what's going on in the housing market, and I saw digital home buying. And I thought that was really cool. In fact, that's why I titled this YouTube video Digital Home Buying, because it's real. Real estate has changed so massively, and I get asked questions all the time about how I've changed my business as a real estate investor to actually buying my own home virtually. And so I wanted to shoot this video because here's the thing. I actually just closed almost 3 weeks ago now on my home in Miami, Florida, and I did all of it virtual. Now, for me, I needed to make sure I walked the home personally, since this is gonna be my personal residence, and make sure my wife liked it enough to pull the trigger, as it's north of $1 million as a home. But home buying for most people is starting to become completely digital, as a new term I like. And in my business, I've actually taken my business virtual as well. Let's start about how I actually bought my home digitally or virtually, and I think it's something that you guys can do too. And here's some cool technology that is now out that you can even use on your cell phone, or if you have a good photographer, they can use on their cameras, just like I have here, which is called Matterport. Matterport is a software that, again, can be on from an iPhone to a good camera that actually will digitally be able to show you rooms in a home as if you are standing in it. So you would take your camera and you would actually essentially kind of scan the room, if you will, and the software will actually give you that 3D feel of the entire room. So when you are looking at a home, you can actually feel like you're just rotating within the home. Now, agents should be using this if they aren't already, but many of them are. And so this makes it home buying a whole lot easier, because you actually can get the feel of the room without having to spend a lot of time there. And so as someone who virtually or digitally bought a home in a completely another state, it's actually kind of the wave of the future. Data is showing since COVID, there are more and more people virtually or digitally buying homes themselves, because you can get a mortgage online. You never need to go anywhere to get a mortgage. Everything can be done over the phone. There's software like Matterport that can show you the home. You can actually have the inspection done just by scheduling it over the phone. Buying a home digitally is quite easy as someone who just went through it. And now also data is showing there's a lot of people leaving big cities such as San Francisco, Chicago, New York to go out into the suburbs. And that process of buying a home that may be a couple hours away, or for me, several states away, the process has now been streamlined, so it's become a lot more efficient. Companies like Zillow are even offering the opportunity for their team to go out and represent you on the buy, but also be able to, show you the home, if you will, right? And so because of companies like Zillow, because of softwares like Matterport, digital home buying is a real thing. Talk to someone who knows. And then you have this idea of people talking about how certain cryptocurrencies are going to be able to allow like escrow and title to be completely digital, which we'll see how that goes. But even that process is not very hard to do when you're buying a home. It just is over email. You print it, you bring it to a notary, they stamp their notary stamp on it, and you send it back overnight. The process is really, really simple. And so I actually do believe the stats are going to continue to show more and more people are going to be buying their home digitally. Again, a phrase that I just love saying because it's new. I found it this morning when doing research. And so they're going to be buying it digitally. Now, how does this relate to my business? Because I also took my business virtual. And what that means is, as someone who wholesales, flips, and buys rentals, I now am not just doing it in my own backyard of Phoenix, Arizona. I actually quite literally just contracted a property today in Detroit, Michigan. We just did a deal in New York. We just did a deal in Birmingham, Alabama. I am actually running my business completely virtually. And the process is the same. So, not only are people being able to buy their personal homes digitally, I'm actually now able to run my business digitally. I'm literally moving to Miami, Florida, where I do not have an office, I do not have my team, and my business is gonna run the same as if I'm sitting right here in my office in Scottsdale, Arizona. So some of the key components to being able to run a business virtually will be what type of software are you using? What goes on in the process, right? And so this is process driven, which does include some people, and then others is software and software driven. So the key to being able to run a business virtually is making sure that the team that you do have is meeting on a consistent basis, right? So I will be on Zoom calls daily with my team to make sure that they continue to run the business based around the results that we're trying to achieve. You also need great software that has far reach. So for example, on the wholesaling side of the business, when we upload our properties into our database, they automatically populate Facebook and Facebook groups. That really helps. We also have the opportunity to use things like DocuSign or HelloSign or PandaDocs and all the other ways that we actually can take our offers and make those done virtually as well, where we get the homeowner on the phone and we actually review the offer right there over the phone with them on the computer. All right, if you guys are liking these videos, make sure you like this video because the YouTube gods really appreciate it. And you are subscribed because I drop 6 videos each and every week. This is a fun topic, stay tuned. As I mentioned when talking about my own personal home that I just bought, escrow is essentially virtual anyways. The only time that it wouldn't be technically virtual is when you actually have to have a notary sign the documents. Even on my own home, I met the notary down at Starbucks. You can do that. They can even come to your house. So even the whole notarizing process when buying homes is very, very easy to do. And so the business can run virtually. People are buying homes virtually, and it's just because now since COVID, the entire system of real estate has quite honestly changed. If you take a moment and go back to this concept that there are certain cryptocurrencies that have talked about replacing the escrow and title process completely, I do believe at some point that could even become a reality. I believe that realtors are gonna somehow kind of become extinct, if you will, because Matterport is a great tool that quite literally can be used from the home, or quite literally can be used from your phone. And if that's the case, it can be just as easy for a homeowner to do a Matterport on their home and put it on Zillow as for sale by owner. That's actually how I bought my home. Shocker. I did it virtually, the homeowner did it virtually. He didn't use a realtor, he put it on Zillow, back to good software that helps you run a business and buy homes digitally. Do a Matterport. He literally didn't even have to use a realtor. Realtors at some level could even become extinct because of all of the new softwares, and now people's desire to not have to go out and do things, they can do it all from the comfort of their couch if they have the comfort to do so. And when I mean comfort, I'm not talking about the couch. I'm talking about their confidence that they're doing the right thing, they're buying the right home, that there's not something that they're missing. As I mentioned, even buying rentals for me virtually, I quite literally have 3 different contractors going to see this property in Oklahoma City this week because I'm looking at buying it as a rental. Not only that, I'm gonna remodel it virtually. I'm gonna be able to get a tenant virtually. Nothing I need to do needs to even be in the state of Oklahoma. So this is a really big shift in how traditional real estate has been over the decades or so. This is gonna be something that I believe is gonna continue to take shape and you know, not to harm the realtors by any means, but at some point, all of these things that really created the opportunity for realtors or escrow, there's gonna be systems, there's gonna be software, things are gonna start getting eliminated in this transaction as more and more people realize they don't have to physically be in this home to buy it. They don't have to physically be in this home to remodel it or you know, see what's in the home. Again, just using the concept of Matterport, I feel completely comfortable using that, getting the inspector, getting the plumber, getting all these people, giving them the opportunity to send me digital input so I can buy the home. In fact, it's what I did just weeks ago, and it's how I'm running my business today. So it's an interesting topic. Hopefully you guys like this. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Make sure you are subscribed as I drop 6 videos a week right here on YouTube. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.